And this was we had a project essentially that required over 450 components. From that, I guess what's it called? Is the necessity is the mother of invention. We developed a new system which allows us to manufacture many pieces of different sizes and different geometry um, uh, and part weights at one time. And this is great, particularly if you're not from a cheap labor country like Asia. This is a very suitable manufacturing method for the West. So we're Australian. Our labor rates are some of the highest in the world. So we needed to do something where we were making a lot of different pieces all at once. So what we did was we developed a special runner system, very similar but not the same as how a model airplane or model car is made. The difference is those parts have got very thin wall sections, and so overpacking the parts, so filling up the parts too much in one particular space, is not as high a chance as what we've done. Our parts go up to 6 millimeters thick in some areas, and we go down to about 1.5 mil in others. And also our mold, the flow path. And so with that, we developed the family tool system, but we also developed a very low cost prototyping system, injection mold prototyping system. With most products, your product demand is rarely over 20,000 if you've got a new product. If you go higher, it doesn't matter. The tooling is just adjusted according to what you need the life to be. Generally, when you go to a tool maker, they don't offer you a range. They say, this is the tooling cost. We're going to make it out of X material. We're going to make it from P20, H13, or whatever one of the American versions are. And typically they're hard steel. They take considerable time to manufacture and they're very expensive. They also come in a die set, which you have to pay for, and also they've got hot runner systems in them, which just adds to the cost. I would say most of that you don't need for the products that people are making. Whereas what we are doing, we are looking at it more holistically, and we're trying to close that gap between having a product designed by your industrial designer or by us, and then getting it onto the market without having high risk tied up in tooling. Because if the project doesn't work, you're off for a lot of money. Whereas in this system, we strip down the mold completely. We don't have a die set. We have common tooling components that we share among the molds. And so essentially the only thing you're paying for is the block of steel or block of aluminium or steel aluminum, sorry. And so we use generally quite high grades of aluminum, 70-75 wrought aluminium, so to make sure it doesn't distort after, it still stays pretty stable after machining. And it's also good enough hardness for a mold to last 60,000 shots, depending on your polymer using.